Inside each of us is the ability to transform, to come closer to our best selves. And inside each of us is the ability to spark change, to share the tools of change, and improve the lives of people around us. When we give, they give. Together, we create a spark that can grow and brighten an entire community. Give to Give Foundation is built on that spark. We bring the power of personal transformation to communities where this work can do the most good. We work with people who are suffering, who have experienced trauma and hurt. We are optimists, seekers, and change makers who believe that inside us is the ability to spark change and that we can help improve the world. Join us.
Hi everyone, my name's Sophia and I'm the Senior Brand Manager for Give to Give. Thank you for joining us this evening for a learning session on our Scholars Program with our Head of Giving and Operations, Veronica Ontiveros. I'm going to go over some logistics for tonight before we get started. Vera will come on, introduce herself and her background with the foundation before we go into an interview with a former Give to Give scholar. After hearing about their experience, Vera will answer the top 5 most commonly asked questions about our Scholars Program before we go into a live Q&A with our audience. We'll finish the session with Dr. Joe's Generating Inspiration meditation. If you have a question you'd like answered by Vero, please send it in the chat. I'll message you privately if your question's been selected and ask you to prepare to come off mute to have it answered. If you have a question you'd like answered anonymously, please private message me and I'll read it aloud. A quick disclaimer before we jump in. The information that Give to Give Foundation shares about health and related subjects is provided for educational and informational purposes only and is not intended to be construed as medical advice, nor is the information a substitute for professional medical advice, diagnosis, or treatment. We empathize with your health conditions and want to serve as a resource to you. The information provided should not be used for diagnosing or treating a health problem or disease, and those seeking personal medical advice should consult with a physician or other qualified health provider. Never disregard professional medical advice or delay in seeking it because of something you've read on our website or in any linked materials, or that you hear in a Give to Give Foundation program. If you think you may have a medical emergency, please call your doctor or emergency services immediately. The opinions and views expressed in any Give to Give Foundation programs have no relation to those of any academic, hospital, health practice, or other medical or scientific institution. Now that we have that legal language out of the way, let's get things started. Vero, I'll pass it over to you.
Hi everyone, great to see you all tonight. My name is Veronica Ontiveros, but everybody calls me Vero. I am the head of giving and operations for the Give to Give Foundation. I have been working with the Give to Give Foundation since March 2021. I started doing Dr. Joe's work in 2014. Then I was invited to be part of the Mexico organizer team. And in 2018, I was selected as a team leader when there were team leaders at the Weeklongs. Then the pandemic changed everything. I started going to the events as a meditation assist. And during one of the week-longs, I got the calling and the invitation to become part of the Give to Give team. We started as a foundation, giving one grant, paying just for registration. And now we've sponsored 500 grants between live events and online for the intensive and progressive program. This program has changed me deeply. To see transformation, to witness how people empower themselves and can change, improving their lives. The stories of transformation just keep getting better. I get to be part of them and I love it. I love to be there to support them during the events and see how literally their faces change day by day. I am so happy to introduce you now to a grant recipient. They participated at the week long with Dr. Joe, and I think their story is something you're going to love hearing about. So, as promised, we are here with our beautiful Kendra. So, Kendra, please introduce yourself for the audience, and can you please tell us your name and background?
Absolutely. My name is Kendra, and I spent a long time sick. I had Lyme disease for over 30 years, and it caused a lot of different diseases, different problems. I had mast cell activation syndrome, which is considered very rare. It basically means that you're allergic to everything. I couldn't go outside without a mask. I couldn't be around perfume. I could eat chicken and rice for a lot of years, and that was it. And I was heading towards needing a feeding tube. I couldn't be around dust or mold. I had mold toxicity. I was really, really sick. And as a single mother of a very young daughter, that was not working for me. I had a lot of breathing problems. I was actually diagnosed with cystic fibrosis from having high sweat chloride. It was actually caused by the Lyme. It wasn't the genetic version of it. And because of that, doctors didn't know how to treat it. I had done everything from stem cell therapy to stinging myself with live bees. I mean, I did antibiotics, natural, holistic. I did everything. I even had a meditation practice, but it was not like what Dr. Joe Dispenza does. Somebody gave me a book, You Are the Placebo. I read it and I fell in love with it. I was broke because I was very sick and I was a single mom. I spent some time homeless even about a year and a half ago with my daughter. I have full custody of her. So it was just her and myself. And things were really challenging. But also, I painted a picture for myself. I created that for myself. And I learned that through Dr. Joe's work. But I wanted to go to a retreat. I knew that if I could get to a retreat, I could get beyond myself because nothing else was working. I applied for a grant through Give to Give, and Vero was so sweet. She communicated with me the whole time. And I received it kind of last minute to go to Niagara Falls last year around this time in September. It was 2022. The week before I got to the retreat, the week-long advanced retreat with Dr. Joe Dispenza, I had a scan because when I was 18, I had thyroid cancer. There's a little bit of a scar, and I had some weird symptoms. So my endocrinologist did a scan, and it showed up that it looked very much like I had a metastatic lymph node. And my doctors wanted to biopsy it, get me scheduled for surgery right away. And I said, no. I said, I'm going to this retreat. Let's scan again when I get back. She argued with me that the best radiologist looked at it. It looks metastatic. We need to act on this. This could be a really big deal. And I said no. I received my grant. I went to Niagara Falls, and it changed my whole life. I still could only eat two foods when I was there. I had been doing the meditations and improving slowly, but also powerfully, just doing the work on my own. But getting to the retreat was a game changer. I left there a different person. And Vero, she remembered my face from the picture. I mean, it was such a beautiful experience. I feel love, and I felt very loved. And of course, the week after the retreat, I had another scan, and there was no sign of any metastatic lymph nodes, no swollen lymph nodes. I started eating food again. My life is completely normal today. I'm training for marathons. Breathing was a real big issue for me for a while, and eating foods. I eat whatever I want. A gluten, dairy, chocolate, and I don't gain any extra weight. I used to put on weight really easily from some of the Lyme infections, which are non-existent anymore. And like, I do the breath work every day, and that's my exercise. And I run a lot because I can. And I ran 10Ks this morning, and yesterday morning I also healed the poverty. That was another big one for me because I had about $20,000 of credit card debt. And then January of this year, which was just a few months after the retreat, a miracle just happened, and I received the money to pay off all of my credit card debt, and I refinanced my car. As of today, I've created through the quantum a job where I probably work 5 hours a week and I make about six figures a year. And I don't try very, I mean, the work that I do, I'm changing someone's life, I'm helping somebody, but it's not very demanding. It allows me to be a mother to my daughter, to get her from school every day, and to exercise. I'm getting my master's degree. It's quantum physics and neuroscience. And next year I start my PhD. So it'll be mind and body medicine in my PhD program. So everything I'm learning, in quantum physics and neuroscience is everything that Dr. Joe teaches. So it really helps. It really resonates. He's all science, no religion or dogma, no there's no questioning it. I have a lot of colleagues who are and professors, Harvard professors who are getting into Dr. Joe's work because of my story and, teaching his principles in our program now, which is really exciting. So my whole life changed from this event.
Yeah, we're so happy to hear everything. I mean, I know this is truly amazing, but I want you to ask, can you describe the change in your perspective from before to after the event? And also, I would like you to tell us, does this change and affect the people and community around you too?
Great questions. Yes. I was still, even though I was doing the work on my own, maybe I would have gotten there eventually, but it wasn't until I got to the retreat. It really got rid of that victim mentality. There was one meditation in particular, and I might get choked up because it's just everything's so powerful. Dr. Joe is a man of pure love, and you feel it. It's tangible when you're there. And he's telling me, I'm invincible. And I'm telling myself this. And I'm sitting there with a mask on, still afraid to breathe the air around me. And I ripped off my mask and I threw it in the garbage and I never put one on my face again. I wear perfume now. I really do live a normal life. So it was like I was being inauthentic before the retreat and I was lying to myself. My body's like, ha ha, you're invincible, but you're putting a mask on. You're afraid of everything. You're not, you're afraid to go try new food. And I added lots of new foods back to my diet during that week. And then just over time, in a very short amount of time, I was eating without reactions and I really became a different person. I, and to change the people around me, my God, people are changing in my life. People are getting out of bad relationships because they see me. I'm not talking about it. I'm living it. I'm being the truth, the example of truth for people. One of my girlfriends just said, "You're like my North Star. Like, I know I can get out of this bad relationship and heal my body because you were dying and broke and homeless. And now people tell me you look more beautiful every time I see you. And I'm getting older. I'm only 37, but like, it's like it's the inner work. It's because I'm loving myself so much and it's pouring out of me. So people around me change. And I'd also like to share about my daughter, if it's okay, with her healing through me just healing myself. My daughter was born with Lyme disease congenitally, mast cell activation syndrome, allergic to all foods, failing to thrive, malnourished. All she could eat was rice. Also diagnosed with Asperger's, autism spectrum disorder. She was very she had the headphones, sensory, just shut down, super smart but very socially shut off, and with high anxiety, which I know because I was stressed when I was pregnant with her, and that's how she thought she had to be born in order to survive, and maybe she did initially, but we're here to heal. I had a really powerful meditation after the retreat. She was slowly starting to heal, but I did a very powerful meditation, the center of the magnet. It's about 3 hours. And I was getting up at 3 a.m. every day, doing this meditation every day, weeks and weeks during her winter break and my winter break. And, wanting this mystical experience that everybody talks about, wanting this beautiful quantum experience that Dr. Joe explains scientifically in his work. And then finally one day I woke up and I was like, I really just want to be the best mother I can be today. I just want to open my heart as much as possible for me. That was my paradigm shift too, as a whole, was when I changed my perspective from visualizing running marathons and being wealthy and healthy to just, I want to be a better person. I haven't been the best person I could be. I want to be the best mother I could be. I'm going to put myself first and love myself first, because then I can love others way more. And when I changed, then everything else happened as a result, as a side effect. And that's kind of what happened that morning. And it was December of last year, of 2023. I did the center of the magnet meditation. He has you lay down at the end and just let your nervous system integrate everything that just happened in those 3 hours. You're working, and I lay down and I could hear myself snoring. And I'm like, I'm a hypnotherapist, so I understand the body's asleep, the mind's awake. Okay. I was totally frozen, like in REM sleep when I studied sleep patterns in neuroscience. And I wasn't scared. I leaned into it. I knew I was safe. I knew something was happening. And I just saw, like, And I'm a spiritual person. I'm not, really religious. I never in a million years would I talk about angels, but I saw what looked like an angel, and I was floating above my body just in this space. I couldn't move. I couldn't control what I was thinking or doing or saying. I was just existing in this quantum experience beyond space and time. And my daughter was in front of her. My daughter had all these broken blood vessels from Lyme, trying to eat her blood vessels in the womb. And she has like they call them the stork bite birthmarks on the back. It looks like a red
Mhm.
rash. And
Mhm.
so the angel said, "Those are angel kisses." And then I just looked at my daughter in the space and time. And all I said was heal 3 times. I couldn't control it. And shortly after that is when she started being able to eat foods again. And it really, she wanted to, because being on the spectrum, I didn't know what she was still allergic to because she was not willing to try anything. But after that, she just was fine. She joined karate. She's now, it's almost a year later, it's September 2023 now,
Mhm.
and she's in sports. She does sleepovers with her friends. I mean, she eats whatever she wants, zero reaction. She's social. Her autism doctor was like, "I can't even say she's on the spectrum anymore. I've never seen a child turn around so quickly from this. Whatever you're doing, keep doing
Wow.
it." And she does do the kids doctor show meditations, and she loves them. We do the walking meditations. She's manifested a trip to Hawaii that we're getting paid to go to at the end of this year. I mean, she's into the work and she knows how to do it. And but that happened after my meditations. So
Yeah.
I know there are a lot of people who have sick kids, or kids who they want to heal, or kids on the spectrum who, I know what it feels like to feel hopeless, because I was that mother of, like, sick, broke, with a sick kid who wouldn't eat food, wouldn't speak to, if somebody looked at her, she'd start crying, like just pure terror. And now you wouldn't know it if you saw her today. You'd see a healthy, happy kid.
I saw her last time that when we met, remember, in Denver, and it was so nice to see her. And I want to ask you, what advice would you give to someone who's attending an event with Gift to Give?
Ah, do it. Keep your heart open. I mean, like I said, my paradigm shift happened when I stopped trying to create health and wealth, and I just started opening my heart. Everything came to me. Life is sincerely as effortless as I could ever imagine. So just go there with the intention of being the best version of yourself, and let go of everything else. And I promise you, it'll come to you faster. You have a family here with Give to Give. You are just wrapped in love. And when I saw you in Denver just a few months ago, Vera, like, it was, I mean, you recognize me. All the thousands, maybe millions of people you meet, you recognize me, and it just brought me to tears. And and you gave, my daughter's name is Sophia. You gave her a little gift, and she still has it, and she still talks about it. She has a photographic memory, and and for people wanting to apply for grants with Give to Give, just go for it. You're going to be supported. Don't be afraid to reach out, or if you just need to go get a
Yeah.
hug,
Yeah.
like, it really is like family.
Thank you so much. I mean, it's really important for us to for someone like you to share their experience, because it is for us. It is very important, the grant program that we have. It's just like we started, and we are truly, so amazed by the stories of transformation that we see with the people that we give the grants and help them come to an event. So it's truly an honor for us to be witness of your transformation. I think it's very important. Something that you were sharing with us is that you went to change yourself, and I think that is such an important message, because sometimes people have the expectation to go and do, I don't know, maybe a healing, or as you said, change their financial situation. But the root has to be, as Dr. Joe says, that you have to change yourself so everything can change. And you're the example of it. And as he says, you're the living proof, or the living example of truth. And we are so happy that you were able to share with us today.
You guys are the example of love. I don't believe I would be alive if it weren't for you and my daughter. So, and not only are we alive, but we're thriving, and we are so grateful.
Thank you so much. So now we are going to address the top 6 questions we get from the application process. Question number 1. What does a grant include? When we started giving out grants, we only included the registration to the event. But as Dr. Joe changed the structure of the retreats, we now include 6 hotel nights with a registration to the event. So registration to the event and 6 hotel nights at the venue where the event is taking place. Second question, do I have to register to the event when registration is open at Dr. Joe's webpage Unlimited? The answer is no. You don't have to register. We will send you a special link where you can register. So you don't have to be worrying about getting into Dr. Joe's website and doing everything that people do to register to the event. Question number 3. What happens if I need help from a caregiver? We understand sometimes your health condition is in such a situation that you need someone to come with you as a caregiver. If this is the case and you let us know through your application that that's something that you need, we do provide the caregiver registration and hotel. So please let us know if this is your case, and we will be happy to help you with this. Question number 4. Do I have to book the hotel? The answer for that is no. We will do the booking for the hotel, so you don't have to worry about that. Question number 5. What happens if I'm not working and I don't pay taxes? In our application, we are asking for documents so we have proof that you have a financial need. So if you're not paying taxes, we ask you to send us any other document where we can see how your finances are, and we can have that backup to make a decision. If we do make the decision and give you the grant, we have that document to back it up. And the same thing happens when people don't have a diagnosis from a medical professional. Sometimes you don't need to send the proof of there's a medical problem. It can only be financial. But if you have a medical condition, it helps a lot if you can upload the documents you have from your medical professional, or your medical or the people who are helping you go through the medical problem that you have. And number 6, what do you recommend if I don't get the grant? So you can apply numerous times. There's no limit to apply for a grant to go to an event. And there are also some tools that you can use in your journey. You can keep doing the work, keep doing Dr. Joe's work, find meditations. I think there's a great tool that Dr. Joe has, and it's the Dr. Joe live sessions. You just have to subscribe to that program. And it's a wonderful tool that you can have because Dr. Joe goes over different questions and different topics, and it makes you feel connected. And some of the questions, many people do have them. He talks a lot about health challenges and problems like that. So I think it's a great tool. And just keep, an open heart and just trust the process. We would love to help everybody who approaches us asking for a grant. Unfortunately, we cannot give grants to everybody, but we try our best and we do whatever we can to help you. So thank you so much.
Now that we've answered the most commonly asked questions about this program, we'd love to open the Q&A up to the audience. You can send your questions in the chat, and I'll message you to come off mute and have it answered. And if you'd like it answered anonymously, you can private message me and I'll read it aloud for you. The first question that we have is about eligibility. Vero, who is eligible to apply for a grant through Give to Give?
You can apply for a grant if it's been more than 2 years since your last Weeklong. Some of the people that apply for a scholarship or for a grant to go to a Weeklong, some of them have already been to a Weeklong. But because we get so many applications, we are giving priority to the people who haven't been able to go to an event. So we do understand that Dr. Joe's teaching sometimes, change through time, and he evolves everything that he teaches. So we think that 2 years is a great time for you to have the opportunity to go again and try again for another grant.
Awesome. And for the next question, I'd love to invite Amelia on to answer a question about reapplying.
Okay. That's me.
Hello.
Hello. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Yes. Okay, cool. Yeah, my big question is I applied a while back, but I didn't get approved. Do I need to reapply?
Yeah,
And the reason I'm asking is because, I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead. Go ahead. Finish your question.
Yeah, the reason I'm asking is because I was diagnosed about a year ago, now in September, with osteomyelitis on my bone marrow. And I refused. I was already about a year or more into Dr. Joe's work, doing it at home through YouTube. And then I finally ordered the progressive online, and I've done that. But I refused the surgery they wanted to do because they were literally going to cut out my clavicle and 3 ribs and part of my sternum. And the only thing that was going to protect me was going to be, the muscle on my shoulder. So I refused it, and I said, no, I brought the Holy Spirit with me, and I refused this. And he says, well, let's just keep an eye on it, keep watching you. So I saw him in July, and he told me in July that he was going to release me. He says, I'm going to cut you. And I said, you know what? And he was kind of joking. He said, I'm going to cut you loose. He said, because usually these things get worse before they get better. And yours has mildly improved with the last MRI they've done. He says, but I'm still a little concerned for you. So I want you to keep an eye on it. And if you need me, you call me immediately. Well, recently I went through a lot of trauma when I was a child. I was sexually abused, and it was through the church, and not just me, but my whole family was pretty much destroyed. There's 12 of us, and I have this big family. I only speak to one brother out of all those brothers and sisters because of all this. My parents have passed, and thank God they have, because I wouldn't want them to see what all we've gone through. But I was recently
It's okay.
awarded a little bit of money, not a whole lot, but enough to take care of things. And I wanted so badly to pay for this to be able to go, but after paying the bills and sharing with my children, I don't have it anymore. So I'm regretting the fact that I didn't put myself first. So I was just wanting to know if I can reapply and see if I can get to be able to go before, because my sons, well, maybe we could help you pay for just the room if they pay for the thing. But now you said that you pay for both. So I'd really like to apply again.
Yes, we totally advise you to apply again. We're sorry that you're going through this situation. And it's important to know that if we can give you the grant, we will give it to you. We go through, it's really difficult for us because we get so many applications, and we've seen with time that things are getting a little bit worse for people. And we really would love to, to bring everybody to Dr. Joe's event, because we know what a great tool it is, and we know how things can change if you start doing the work and you have the tools to do that. So with time, sometimes, circumstances change, and that's important for us to know. So I would recommend to reapply, and that it's a process that we're trying to make it really easy for you. Sometimes we know that it takes time, and it can be a little bit hard. One of the things that I would also like to tell you is that we do need documents. Right now, the foundation is in a moment where we are growing, and that's something really good. But because we are growing, we're also being looked at. So because we're giving out money, we're helping people, we do need the documents to have a background and to have a backup of the need that people have. So that would be my recommendation. And of course, apply. I mean, you can apply as many times as you can. And sometimes it happens. Sometimes people apply 2-3 times, and maybe the fourth time they get the grant. So don't be discouraged. We do have a lot of people applying, and the spots that we have to go to events is limited. So we are working with what we can, and we are also, looking into the future, and as much as we grow, we want to grow also giving opportunities to people to go to the events.
Okay. Thank
Thank
you. I
you.
appreciate it. Yeah, I've been doing the work for over 2 years, and it's been amazing. Like, there's days that I have such profound meditations that I literally feel the Holy Spirit wash over me, and I know I feel healed. And then I get up and I try and do anything, because I've broken my back twice. I have really bad arthritis in my mid back and my upper back. So I see chiropractor. I've been in some crazy accidents in the last few years. So I've been through a bit of trauma. And then every time I think I'm past it and I'm doing better, like, it'll come back to me with severe pain again. And then I kind of manifest the anxiety and depression into pain. And I just feel like I'm at square one again.
Yeah, you have
So I
to,
believe in this work. I believe,
yeah, and
go ahead.
and it's a practice. You have to keep doing it. That's what Dr. Joe says.
Yeah.
It's really hard, especially when you're facing a health condition. It's not easy, but you just have to keep doing it. And when you are in this state where you find that you're happy, that you're focusing or getting into an elevated emotion, then everything just turns out in a way that is very different, and your life starts to change. So I know the process of applying to a scholarship is part of this, and sometimes people have a really hard time asking for help, and we understand that. When you are putting yourself out there through the application and showing us how you are and how vulnerable you sometimes feel, we totally open our hearts when we're reading the application, and we understand that. So we want you to know that what we do, and when we are through the application process, we do it with an open heart. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you.
I
For the
thank you
next
so much.
question, wonderful. For the next question, I would love to invite Zulma to come off of mute and ask your question.
So what's the name of the program to subscribe in order to practice by myself?
Dr. Joe has a lot of programs, but what we are giving the grant for is for the week-long advanced retreat. So if you're familiar with Dr. Joe's work, it's an event. It's a 7-day event that takes place in different parts of the world, and we help people to go to that event. It's a 7-day retreat where he teaches you everything that he knows, and you also have a chance to practice a lot of meditation.
Okay, thanks.
Yes, thank you.
And one of the next questions that we're getting is asking what people can expect if they're coming to the event alone. If somebody is nervous about being there by themselves, what the experience would be like as a solo person.
Of course, this is very important for you to know, that once you come to the event, everybody that is part of Dr. Joe's community is very open. First of all, we're always there. We always have a table at the event. We encourage you to come to the table and say hello, and we can help you. We can help you if you have anything that you need, if you have any questions, if you need something. And you'll be surprised of how easy it is to become part of the community. Dr. Joe is just great doing what he does. He starts the retreats, and you start talking to the people that are around you, and you truly start to find a community where you belong, where you will find people that are thinking like you are thinking, that are going through different things, sometimes similar to what you're going through. And it's a great, even though people come to the events and sometimes they come alone, you don't have to be afraid, because you'll feel part of a community, you'll feel part of a family. And I would recommend it because it's a great experience.
Up next, I would love to invite Anna on to come have her question answered.
Hello. Yes, I was looking for in the webpage where to apply. I remember last time that I tried to apply, but now it says that it is closed. So how do we find a link, or where can we apply?
Yes. What we have been doing is that we have been opening and closing applications, because we get so many applications that if we leave them open, then it's impossible for us to go through all of them. So what we're doing is we're setting up different dates for different events. So if you email us at info@Give to Give Foundation asking about the next time that applications will be open, we will send you the dates where it will be open and for what events. So we usually try to open applications between 2 months and month and a half before the event takes place. So we have enough time to look at the applications, and you have enough time, because when we give you a grant, what we do is when you register to the Weeklong, it's included the intensive and progressive online. So we want you to have, if you're given the grant, we want you to have enough time so you can watch the online intensive and progressive, and you can come really prepared to the event. So you just send us an email, and we'll send you the dates when the applications will open for the next session. We are going to try to have a calendar in our website, so when you get into the section of receiving, you can see the next dates, or the next set of dates where applications will be open. That's something that we're working for, and we're working through, because we will update our website. So that will be also easy in the future.
Thank you. And one more question is, I as I can hear, like like the foundation will give only to the people with a sickness need.
No, what we do is we help people who have a health condition, have a financial condition, and sometimes have a mental health issue. So you don't have to be sick to come to an event with the help of Give to Give. So it just depends on what your application is telling us. It can only be financial. That's also a reason that you can apply. So there's no problem with that. So, but most of the people that apply, sometimes when they have a health condition, it also impacts their finances. So that's why when people are going through a health experience or a health challenge, sometimes the financial situation is not good for them also. So that's why we help, most of the time we help people that have both conditions or are going through a difficult time in very different aspects of their life.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And up next, I would love to invite Aaron on.
Thank you. My question is if anyone in the world can apply for the grant. That's it.
Excuse me, can you repeat that?
My question is if anyone from anywhere in the world can apply for the scholarship. Yeah?
Yes,
No.
anyone in the world can apply. What we try to do is, because we don't take care of the transportation or the airfare, is depending on where the event is happening, we try to help people from the region. For example, if there's somebody that speaks Spanish, for example, we know that in the event in Cancun, there's going to be translations. So we try to help people who speak Spanish and they come from different parts, from Central and South America, and we bring them to the Cancun event so they can have that translation that they need. So when we go to Europe, when Dr. Joe goes to Europe, we try to help people from Europe, because we know it's a burden if you have to pay for airfare, and it's expensive to go from one place to another. So yeah, but you can apply everywhere in the world. And also remember that we give online scholarships for the intensive and the progressive. So we have people who apply from places like South Africa, like Iran, Pakistan, and lots of places in the world, India. So we try to give them, the online scholarships or the online grants, so they can have the information no matter where they are in the world.
Okay, thank you. I have a little question also. When I was trying to apply, I got a little bit confused in the part of taxes. I didn't know what document to send because at the moment I don't pay. So
Yes.
I'm a little bit confused. Can you like explain, please?
Yes, I know this is a question that a lot of people have. We need any kind of information, maybe a bank statement
Okay.
where you can show your finances. For example, if you have a job and your wages or your income are really low, we can see what kind of income you have, and then you can get considered to get help. So it doesn't have to be the tax return. It's easier for us, especially if you're in the US, it's easier for us to have those kinds of documents. But if you're from somewhere else, you can do it with a bank statement or something that we can see and look at your finances.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
And for the next question, we have, what kind of documentation do I need for my medical records?
Okay, so for the medical records, it's also something that we need as a proof that something is going on with your health. It doesn't have to come from a hospital or a medical or traditional medical doctor. It can come from any medical professional that you are consulting, that they can state if you have a diagnosis, what is going on with you. Sometimes people don't like to go to doctors or don't trust doctors or traditional medicine, and we totally understand that. But we need some kind of document of somebody who is in the healthcare industry or knows anything about health that can tell us that there's something with your health. Sometimes if you don't send those documents, but you can send financial documents, that would be just fine. But the more proof that we have about your situation, it's easier for us to give the grant.
And for our next question, I want to invite one of our Spanish speakers up. If Erica, you want to ask your question in Spanish, and Vero, if you will answer it in English.
Of course.
Erica, would you like to come off of mute?
¿Sí? ¿Ahí me escuchan?
Sí.
Ahí está. Creo que no se puede hacer el video, pero ahí el audio. ¿Es correcto?
Es correcto.
Ay, pues feliz y agradecida de poder estar en línea con ustedes. Llevo un año.
Dame un segundo para que yo pueda traducir un poco también en inglés.
Gracias.
She's very happy to be here with us. ¿Sigue?
Llevo un año y medio practicando todos los días Morning Meditation de Dr. Joe.
Okay, she's been doing Dr. Joe's morning meditation for almost a year.
Y me curé de una alergia en las manos, la cual
She's healed herself from an allergy she had in her hands.
Me impedía poder tocar diversos jabones y detergentes.
She couldn't use any kind of soap.
Situación que se complicó muchísimo en la pandemia por el tema del gel antibacterial.
And this was very difficult for her during the pandemic because of the sanitizing gel that people needed to use.
Mis manos estaban muy lastimadas antes de iniciar el trabajo.
Her hands were really, really hurting before she started doing the work.
Empecé a hacer el trabajo sin buscar curarme las manos.
She started doing the work without looking to get healed.
Más bien buscando un paz interior y me gustó la meditación.
She just wanted to feel peace inside and she loved the meditation.
Aproximadamente 2 meses después me percaté que mis manos estaban en perfecta condición.
After 2 months of doing the meditation, her hands were completely healed.
Al día de hoy, mis manos puedo tocar cualquier jabón.
Now she can use any kind of soap.
Y soy muy feliz practicando. Ahora hago más meditaciones del Dr. Joe, no nada más morning meditation.
She's very happy with Dr. Joe's work, and she does more meditations, not just the morning meditation.
En diciembre, el doctor Joe viene a Cancún. Yo vivo en Mérida, Yucatán, que es un estado vecino.
In December, Dr. Joe will come to Cancún, and she lives close to Cancún in Mérida, that is just next to Quintana Roo. Yes.
Y desearía aplicar a un scholarship porque no trabajo, me dedico a cuidar a mi hijo, al hogar, y pues busco esa oportunidad de poder convivir con la comunidad y seguir haciendo el trabajo de Dr. Joe.
And she wants to apply for a grant because she doesn't work. She is just taking care of her son, and she wants to apply for a grant. So yes, you can apply for grants for las aplicaciones para Cancún van a estar abiertas a partir del 16 de octubre. Applications for the Cancún event will open October 16th.
Perfecto.
And, yes, and we encourage you to look into our website and do your application, fill it out. Entonces te invitamos a que visites nuestro website de la Fundación de Give to Give y puedas tú llenar tu aplicación.
Gracias. También he tenido la oportunidad de conocer el trabajo de la Fundación a través de lo que hacen el gran trabajo en las cárceles mexicanas de mujeres en el Estado de México, y he tenido la oportunidad de participar también, y me llena de alegría y orgullo ese trabajo que hacen en mi país.
Gracias. She's very happy and she's very proud of what we're doing with the prisons in Mexico, and she's very, very excited that we're doing that in her country. Muchas gracias.
Gracias. Buenas noches. Gracias.
Good night. Buenas noches.
Wonderful. And for the last question, Vero, when can those that applied for the Orlando event expect to hear back on whether or not they were selected?
We usually take around 2 weeks and a half to process the applications. We have a committee that looks into applications, and it's not just one person who selects who's going to the events or who gets the grant. We just closed the applications last week, so we're looking into them, and we will probably have a decision early next week.
Awesome, thank you. Now, for those of you that didn't have a chance to get your question answered this evening, you can email us at info@givetogivefoundation.org for any questions, and that email is also available on our website. We're so grateful that you joined us for an evening centered on our Scholars Program. A special thank you to our monthly donors that we call change makers who made this program possible. We couldn't do it without you. I'm excited to announce that we have a special guest for our October learning session, Barry Goldstein. Barry has composed and provided the music for many of Dr. Joe's meditations and for his book, You Are the Placebo. Their collaborations continue to assist many in creating healing and transformation in their life. Join us for that session October 18th at 8 p.m. Eastern. I promise you won't want to miss this one. Enjoy the rest of your evening, and we'll see you next time.